We have seen earlier how to represent decimals on a number line which is up to its tenths place. We have done that earlier, but what if your decimal number is up to its hundredths place and you have to represent it on a number line? This is our number line and we have really magnified the unit distance that is between 0 and 1. And when we are talking about the tenths, then this unit distance has to be divided into 10 equal parts. And this division will be what? 1 over 10 or 1/10 or 0.1. This will be what? This will be 2/10, or let me write this point here. 0.1. 2/10 or 0.2. This division will be what? 3/10 or 0.3. So similarly, 0.4, 0.5, 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, 0.9, and then will be 1. These things we have discussed. Now, if we are talking about the hundredths, the tenth means that you have to divide this unit distance in 10 equal parts. Then hundredths means that you have to further divide each tenth into another 10 equal parts. Each tenth, when divided into 10 equal parts, that one part will be the hundredths. If you divide this one also in 10 equal parts, then each part will be the hundredths. Even this one, this one, this one, this one. Now, when you have to represent 0.6, you'll go here and you'll represent that point, that number, decimal number on the number line, that is 0.6 will come here. But what if you have to represent 0.06? Now clearly, when we look at this 0.6, we can straight tell that since there is no digit at the ones place, it means that of course our number is going to be less than 1. It's going to be less than 1, but it surely is going to be greater than 0, and 0.6 lies between 0 and 1. If we look at 0.06, of course we have 0 at the ones place. It means that we don't have a complete object, but we have something, some fraction of that, because we have something in decimals. Now, of course, this number is going to be greater than 0, so we will look towards the right. Of course, this number is going to be greater than 0, it's not 0, but this number is going to be again less than 1, right? Like we discussed here, so of course you have to look left to the 1. And since at the tens place we have 0, at the tens place we have 0, it means that we don't have any tenth. At the tens place we have what? 0. If at the tens place we have 0 and not even 1, had it been 1, if it was 0.1 and 6, this 1 tells you that yes, you have something at the tens place. Then if you have something at the tens place that is 1, you would look towards the right of 0.1. Why? Because 0.1 tells you that you have something that is you have 1 at the tens place. But in this case, since it is 0.06, it tells you that at the tens place you have 0, so you have not even reached to this point. That's clear to you? Again, 0.06 tells you that at the tens place you have 0. It means that you don't have even 1 at the tens place. Therefore, you will look towards the left of this 0.1 and not towards the right, because it surely is going to be greater than 0 but less than 0.1, because 0.1 tells you that yes, you have 1 at the tens place, but 0.06 tells you that since 0 is at the tens place, it's not even 1, so of course it's going to be less than 0.1. Okay, now this is 0.06. It means that at the hundredths place, you have 6. At the hundredths place you have 6. It means that the fraction represented by it would be 600th. So if all these points were in terms of tenths, of course these points are going to be in terms of hundredths. So if this point is 1/100th or 0.01, this point will be what? 200th or 0.02. Therefore, on the basis of this, if you have to represent 0.06, count sixth line from towards the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. This will be what? This will be 0.06 or 600th. That's simple. What if you have to represent 0.09? It means that again this number is greater than 0 but less than 0.1, because 0 is at the tens place. So this number is going to be between 0 and less than 0.1, in between somewhere this. So 9 means look for the ninth part. So this part will be 0.09. Okay, let me remove some, clear some space so that you can focus on something. And I hope up to this point it's clear to you. Let's relax. Okay. If the number is, let's take 3 point, sorry, if the number is 0.34, of course 0.34 tells you what? This number is surely going to be greater than 0, less than 1. Okay, this is going to be surely between 0 and 1, but it is 0.34. It means that at the tens place you have 3. At the tens place you have 3. It means that it's going to be greater than 0.3. Surely it is going to be greater than 0.3 because 0.34. So you look towards the right of 0.3. It's going to be greater than 0.3. Going to be greater than 0.3. Now, if I divide this line into 10 equal parts, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if you divide these 9 sections, you have created 10 equal parts of this distance between this 10th distance between 0.3 and 0.4. Now this is 0.34. So it is going to be greater than 0.3, and this 4 tells you what? Look for the 400th. Look for the 400th between 0.3 and 0.4. So if this is 0.31, this will be 0.32, then 3, and this will be 0.34. 0.34 tells you that this is greater than 0.3 but less than 0.4. Less than 0.4. So 0.34 will come here. Relax. This one. Relax. Okay. If your number is what? 0.89. It is 0.89. Now clearly, 0.89 0.89 tells you that, of course, my number is going to be greater than 0, less than 1, right? It is going to be between 0 and 1, of course, because this is 0.89 telling you that it's greater than 0, but less than 1. This 89 tells you that at the 10th place, you have 8. You have something at the 10th place, and that is 8. So at the 8 means that 0.8. This 0.8 tells you that at the 10th place you have 8. So this is going to be here. Of course, my number is going to be greater than 0.8. My number is going to be greater than 0.8. So I look towards the right from this 0.8. This is 0.89. Therefore, if I divide this section 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9 in 10 equals parts. So this 9th section is actually what? This 9th section, because when you have to divide any line into 10 equal parts, you have to make 9 such sections, right? These sections. So each section, if you count, then the count will be 9. So this is what? 0.89. Because if you take one more section, you will reach at 0.9. So this is 0.89, telling you that at the tens you have 8 and at the hundredths you have 9. Therefore 0.89 is between 0.8 and 0.9. 0.8 and 0.9. Okay, let us do some more. What if someone says that you have to tell about 2.67? You have to tell about 2.67. Now, of course, we have a very limited space and we cannot magnify the distance between 0, 1 and then from 0, 1, then 1 to 2 and then 2 to 3, because it's talking about 2.67. So for our convenience, let's just assume that at this place, let's take 2. Let's take 2. And at this place, let's take 3. Okay. So at this place, we have taken 2, and on here we have taken 3. So what was the number actually? If I have to talk about 2.67, so of course my number is going to be greater than 2. My number is going to be greater than 2 because we have 2 at the ones place, and this is 2 point something. That means that 2 complete objects plus fraction of that one object. But it is going to be less than 3. That's very clear. So we will look between 2 and 3. That's one thing. This is 0.67. This is 0.67. What it tells us? It tells us that at the 10th place we have 6. It means that we have something at the 10th place, and at the 10th place we have 6. So we will look here. And first let me, change all these things, because if this is 2, then surely it is going to be this is going to be This is going to be 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, 2.4, 2.5, 2.6, 2.7, 2.8, 2.9, and just let me remove all this because we know how we have done this. Now 2.67 means our number is going to be greater than 2, but it's going to be less than 3. At the 10th place we have 6. So at the 10th place we have 6 means what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, right? 2 ones 6 tenths we have reached here. Now, of course, our number is going to be greater than 2.6. It surely is going to be greater than 2.6. Okay, and it is going to be less than 2.7. That's very clear because this 7 tells you that at the tens place you have 7, but we have only 6 at the tens place. It's going to be somewhere between 2.6 and 2.7. Now, our number is 2.67. It means that if we divide this section into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. We have divided this 10th distance between 2.6 and 2.7 into 10 equal parts. It means that it's now in hundredths. This is 2.67. So count the 7th section from here, the 7th intersection. 1, 2, 3, because this will be 2.61. Next one will be 2.62. The next one will be 2.63. And 4, 5, 6, and 7, this tells you what? 2.6 and 7. So if you have to represent it, this will be 2.67 will be here. Okay. So this is the way actually how we do this.